Hey guys, Disparity here, displaying you yet another YouTube video, and in this video I kind of want to do another little impromptu commentary on my competitive experience in Call of Duty and essentially how you guys can get to the level that I am. Now, I'm obviously not an optic nade shot, and I'm not, like an optic scut, but I'm not a formal, not a crim 6, I'm not a professional Call of Duty player. Their opinions are going to be much more highly valued than mine. But I figured it would be important to get an amateur's perspective on the airwaves because you hear about all these pros and how they made it in. Well, they reminisce. And I say this with a bit of bitter jealousy here, but they already made it in. They're set. They're good. So when they tell you how they did it, they do it with a sort of reminiscent fondness about their perilous chance to make it in. And I say this with some kind of bitter grudge or axe to grind, and while I am jealous of their position, it's only because I'm jealous to get there. I'm jealous because they made it in and I'm not, but I'm not going to rant about my jealousy. I just want you guys to know it's there, and I have my biases as an amateur professional Call of Duty player. That made no sense at all. As an amateur Call of Duty player, not an amateur professional Call of Duty player, because if I was professional I probably wouldn't be here making this video, but know that the bias is important going in. Now, from my experience, it has been that somebody has had to introduce me to competitive gameplay. My duo, Divinity, who, by the way, is an awesome person, introduced me to competitive in Modern Warfare 3. And during that time, even though my KD was exceptionally high, I was what you would call the stereotypical camper. In CoD 5 or World at War, I used to play hardcore all the time, and the Springfield was my favorite weapon because I could sit on the top of the rocks and cliffside and pick people off and watch them roll down a hill like fish in a barrel. That was the olden days. Those were the olden days. Then Austin came along, and I'm still doing the same thing. Like 3 Call of Duties later, I don't know how far World at War is from Modern Warfare 3, but, 3 or 4 years later, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still sitting in a corner with essentially no regard for tactics or how to play the game or anything like that. The MK14 was my weapon of choice because as a sniper in CoD 5 or World at War, I had developed an exceptional talent for pistols. I was able to squeeze off a full magazine in less than a few seconds. I have a very exceptional trigger finger because of that experience. So the MK14 was an optimal weapon. I could 2-hit people with stopping power, and I could put out just about as many rounds as a fully automatic weapon. Perfect choice. I get to camp, they come to me, I blast them, I get my streaks, and we're all happy. That was my life before and during the beginning of my competitive gameplay. I hadn't realized that competitive was a different game mode, so while the bomb was planted in Search and Destroy, I would peacefully sit in my little corner and dome behind the concrete wall as the bunker comes out. As you come out of the bunker, you turn to the right, there's a wall there. I would sit behind that thing and kill people for days. We actually had the call-out named after me called JC, Joey's Corner. That was my life before I took a competitive route. And now you see in gameplays like this, and in the previous ones that I've uploaded, that has long since changed. My camping is now gone. However, still very much reachable. If I need to camp, I can camp. But my competitive experience was drawn in by a friend, is the short version of that long story. So, how you got into competitive, I'm not sure, but you wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't interested in it. The first thing I can tell you is find somebody who is also interested in competitive. It doesn't even have to be a friend that you know in person. Just find somebody online that you know is interested in competitive. Talk to people. Talk is cheap. Talk to people, see what they know, see what they tell you. Seek their advice. Seek the pros' advice. I haven't done that yet, but I might tweet Optic Nade Shot sometime and be like, hey, give me some advice. Watch professional players and their YouTube videos on how to become pros, because they are pros. They've gone that route. Watch their videos. Glean knowledge is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Get as much knowledge as you can. Once you've done that, you should have a pretty good idea of where to go. It should consist of getting a team and attending events, things like that. Practicing is a big deal. Practice, practice, practice. If you want to become a professional player, I cannot stress enough how much you must practice. I practice with Austin, or Divinity, sorry, just about every day. Austin's his name. And I practice with him just about every day. I get on right as I get home from school, and if I don't have time, we don't practice that day. But I get in at least 3 days of Call of Duty a week where we sit down and seriously grind. A week into the game, I'm already 2nd prestige. That's how much I've grinded Call of Duty, and I plan to grind competitive Call of Duty once MLG releases their rule set. But practicing is the big deal. Whether you're practicing in singles, whether you're practicing in doubles, whether you're practicing as a team, practice, practice, practice. The next big thing you're going to know is you can practice all you want, but you're going to need a team to practice with, and that's currently the problem me and Divinity are facing. By the way, if you have any competitive experience, we are on the take. So please tweet me or DM me on Twitter, leave a comment in the video if you're interested. We do request, though, that you have GB experience, or at least some form of competitive experience, just simply for ease of transition. But guys, once you have a team, just grind with that team. Build a relationship with people. Talk to your team. You know, get to know your teammates personally. It comes to help a long way in terms of bonding and not raging at each other, keeping it cool under pressure whenever you take a loss. The losses heal quicker once you know each other, that sort of thing. It's really easy to essentially just bond with your team. Just bond with your team, play with your team, become a family with your team, and eventually you guys can make it to an event. Once you make it to an event, you get to play amateur teams, and you can rank through the amateur ladders and hopefully at least play a pro team. If you play a pro team, they'll notice you, but they won't think of you as anything big. Now, if you beat a pro team, they will notice you, and you will become a pro. If you beat a pro team, you're essentially in. But that's pretty much competitive in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed my experience on it and my take on it. And if you have something that you'd like to tell me or want to join my team, leave a message. Thanks for joining. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.